Chapter 8 Secret. Ooh, 8 chapters in a week. I'm on fire. You want to try apple bucking again? Simstic suggested. Applebum said, shaking her head. Now that what happened last time. I can feel my legs for a week. You smell nice, whispered Thunderdash, who had been standing right behind her. I mean, maybe you're a teacher like your mom. She scratched her head. I hadn't thought of that. You need some sort of practice, said Lightning Dash. We could play school, Dinky exclaimed. School and her friends were at Simstic and Apple Blossom's clubhouse, which had been passed down to them from their Aunt Apple Bloom. They had all been Keymark crusades at one point, until Apple Blossom was the only blank flank left. Today they were going to fix that. They were not alone. Thunder and Lightning had brought their 4-year-old sister, Prism. She was a spitting image of her mother, from the wild rainbow mane to the cyan fur. The only difference was her father's emerald eyes. Cinnamonstick had brought his younger sister, Cinnamon Roll, as well. The 7-year-old had a tan coat and platinum blonde hair tied up in a ponytail, and she was just as eager to get her Keymark, even though she had plenty of time ahead of her. The twins had also brought their family's pet tortoise, Tank. While every pony pretended to be Apple Blossom students, Scuba could not concentrate. She should be thrilled, as she had not had the chance to hang out with her friends since her grounding, but her mind was on the friends she had lost. First, Mothball had looked so sad when his friendly mother took him away. She knew children had no hearts, but did that mean they had no emotion? Her father called them monsters, which appalled her. After all, neither he nor she liked being called such a thing. The beast had not looked monstrous. Sure, he was unusual, but so was she. In fact, she was fascinated by how different and mysterious he was. Why had he stayed? Why had he not run off once his cover had been blown? She remembered how he had reacted when that medic had appeared. While he could have saved himself, he had taken her with him. Of course, she had been in no danger, but he had obviously thought otherwise and tried to pull her out of it. He was as hard as her father had said. Why would he have bothered? Screwball, are you paying attention? Apple Blossom demanded, imitating her teacher. Screwball shook out her thoughts. Sorry, guys. I'm distracted today. Did you eat that bad Melvis for breakfast? Did he ask? She sounded amused. No. I just have a few things on my mind. Well, we'll get those things off your mind, Apple Blossom ordered, bringing her stick on the map of Ponyville. We have a lesson here. Cut the edge for a moment, Blossom, said Lightning. Can't you see Scrubbo's having a crisis here? Maybe she has low blood sugar, Simstic suggested. I made some roast this morning, Cinderella announced. Don't be silly, said Thunder. Scrubbo eats nothing but cotton candy and chocolate. She's never low on blood sugar. Is she sick? Prism asked. Now that's even sillier. Screwball's impressed with chaos. She never gets sick. Yeah, Lightning groaned, rolling her eyes at her sister. Don't be an idiot, Prism. The time packers gasped. I'll tell Mommy and Dad you said a bad word. It is not a bad word. Yeah, Thunder confirmed. A bad word would be whose cuff as his mouth was suddenly slipped closed. What kind of big brother are you? Screwball demanded. Thunder grumbled as he unzipped his mouth. Just tell us what's wrong, Screwy, so we can stop arguing about it. She was not sure whether or not to tell her friends. She just decided to run a test first. Do you guys know what a changeling is? Every pony gasped in horror, aside from digging up a blossom. What's a changeling? The two asked together. They're shapeshifters, Anne declared. They're evil, Thunder added. They're scary, Cinnamon shivered behind her brother. They take the form of the ones you love, Cinnamonstick exclaimed. And they eat that love, Lightning finished. Like spaghetti, Prism shouted. I almost battled those guys that fought Beaver Lily's parents' wedding, Thunder claimed, pointing his hooves in the air. They are tough, Lightning grunted, but Alma was victorious. Our parents were there too, Cinnamonstick reminded them. So were Scribble's mom, Aunt Twilight, Aunt Rarity, and Aunt Pinky. But most of the Prince Shining Armor Princess Kings defeated them in the end. Lightning rolled her eyes. Oh yeah, but Mom fought them hard. And knocked 100 of them out, Thunder added. Yeah, Prince cheered. Our mom is awesome. Shut up, Prism. Lightning muttered. You said another bad word. I'm telling. What'd you ask, Screwy? Simstic inquired. Screwball now knew she could not tell her friends. While she trusted them with her life, they would not understand. No reason, she lied. Did I hear something about cinnamon rolls? As Prince Marble headed to his chamber, he heard the buzz among the changelings. How come he gets to be prince? He's just a little brat. I've served his hive longer than he ever has. He's nothing special, except he looks different. Double discrimination. The least Her Majesty could do is pick a female to be heir. Maybe choose the queen when he inherits the throne. Ah, we don't need a king, and we don't need one now. The prince quickened his pace and pretended not to hear them. And how come he gets a bigger room? His chamber was the second largest in the hive, next to the queen's. Others slept in hexagonal alcoves shared by up to 20 changelings. He could feel the glares of envy wherever he went. The worst part was that being prince was an honor he was not sure he wanted. He was not as clever or ambitious as his mother. Even the plots calling her his mother made him weary. She showed him no tenderness. She did not even come to tuck him in or say goodnight. She was not the one who nursed him as larva. That job went to nurse changelings. Though he had received so much attention even then, he had a personal nurse who was ordered to look after him and no one else. The only time his mother wanted to see him was prepare him for the throne and tell him of her plans. He did not understand what made him so special. The others were right. He just had the misfortune of looking different. Crystal's heir should have been a girl to give birth to the changelings. He had pointed this out to his mother once, and her reply was that he could worry about finding a queen later. It was not time for a boy on the verge of adolescence to think about. As he crawled into the bed, his mind wanted to Philly he met over a week ago. He could not get her out of her head. The first time he saw her, he thought she was pretty, even while drenched in chocolate milk. Her swirly curls were like wisps of purple and white clouds. Her fur was as pink as the sky at sunset. And her eyes. Oh, he could not stop thinking about her entrancing lollipop eyes. His chest pounded again. What the heck is wrong with me? He shouted, slamming his hoof in the bed. She's just a stupid girl. He said in agony. No, she was not stupid. She had bravely faced that metaphor and had tactfully found a way to tame it. He still thought her crazy, but that made her more interesting. Indeed, there was no point in liking her. As she had said, she was one of a kind. He had to see her again, not because his mother asked him to find out more about her, but because he wanted to. It was clear he was not going to get any sleep anyway. Seeing out the hive was not going to be simple. There were guards at every exit, and even the tall was infested with changelings. So most of it took the form of fruit fly. Insects were quite easy, and the first things changelings learned to transform into. His small body made him practically invisible to everyone in the hive, and he was able to step out into the outside world. And as shiny armor kings kissed, Rainbow Dash performed her famous sonic rainbow. Fluttershy had just finished telling Darden to start the changeling face from Cachalot. Screwball had requested, not knowing what to expect. Queen Crystal sounded quite evil from her mother's description. Triggering sounded to marrying her while impersonating the real bride as well as Aunt Twilight certainly was quite monstrous. Was his son anything like her? I hope I didn't scare you, Fluttershy said. Screwball shook her head. No. But Mom, do you believe if all changelings are heartless? The Pixie smiled. I'm sure your father was just exaggerating. Of course, she shivered. After that incident in Cachalot, I almost believe him. Then again, I thought your father was a heartless monster before I got to know him. Hypocrite, Philly huffed. Do you know why I went with your father? Because of course he was in danger. Well, that was part of it. Before I accepted the deal, I went to Sakura for advice. She told me that if I married Discord, there would be great happiness in my future, and that all he wanted was someone to love him. I came to him with the belief that I could tame him. She chuckled. Never expected what would become of it. Like the fact that we would have a beautiful, special feeling along the way. She nodded over kissed her darling forehead. Good eye, my angel. I love you. Love you too, Mommy, Screwball said with a smile. Fluttershy opened a box on the side table. It had been a gift from Discord on Screwball's 5th birthday. It played without the need of being cranked and alternated between Hush Now, Quiet Now, and Daddy Discord. Fluttershy then clapped her hoofs, turning the lights off. Hours after her mother departed, Screwball still lay awake in bed. The changeling prince would not leave her mind. She wondered how he had not heard of chocolate milk or plain before. What kind of life had he led to not have tasted chocolate milk? Knowing his daughter answered the question, but still, 5,000 brothers and sisters, and he did not know how to have fun? He must be lonely, she concluded, which was probably ridiculous if he had 5,000 playmates at home. Nice he's an outcast like me. Her thoughts were interrupted by a rap at her window. She sat up in bed and turned towards the sound. A dark shadow was at her window. She slid to the floor and cautiously approached. Her eyes widened when she saw her intruder. She lifted the window. What are you doing here? I wanted to see you, Fish Mother whispered. It had more of that fun we were having the other day. Screwball glanced around. Are you crazy? When my parents saw you, why do you think I came here after dark? So you coming or what? What if I don't want to have fun with you? How do I know you won't just suck my love from me like a vampire? I'll be careful, I promise. Besides, if I wanted your love, I wouldn't have come like this. Despite how much she wanted to go with him, she had to be vigilant. There was a chance her dad could have been right. She sighed. Okay, maybe I'll check like in 15 minutes. The challenge burned up. Great, I'll see you. Screwball shut the window as Mothwell flew away. She grabbed her hat, but before she put it on, she looked in the mirror and smoothed out her hair. Her telephone doorknob and thought occurred to her. Hold on a second. She opened the window again and flew out. It was much faster to reach the lake by flight than on foot. Mothwell had been through it. I'm glad you came, he said with a grin. Don't get happy just yet, Screwball warned. I wouldn't know what this is all about. The prince sighed. Guess your parents told you a lot about Chinglings, huh? Well, my mother told me a lot about your parents. Curious, she sat down beside him. What about them? Well, for starters, she told me that your dad was a lot of chaos that took over Crusher 2 or 3 times. He's not like that anymore, Screwball insisted. Not since he met my mom. Yeah, she said that too. Hey, how did that happen anyway? My parents, you mean? Yeah, don't take this the wrong way, but how did the pony fall in love with the evil spirit of chaos? Screwball sprawled in the grass. Well, it's a funny story, really. The last time Dad took over Equestria, he asked her abroad if he would stop his chaos. My mom was the only one brave enough to do it, she giggled. I've heard it start so many times, yet they keep adding new things. For instance, my mom told me tonight that she went because she thought she could tame Daddy. They were engaged for a really long time. Every night, Dad would ask Mom if she loved him. They made a deal that they would not get married until she said yes. Daddy said that his plan had worked in reverse and he was falling for her instead. One day, he let her go. The prince blinked in astonishment, but I thought she said he was in love with her. He was. He did everything he could to please her. Gave her a comfortable bedroom, created a garden full of plants and animals, took on romantic dates, you get the picture, but he knew she wasn't completely happy, because all she wanted was her freedom, so he gave it to her. A few days later, Mom realized how unhappy she was without Dad and went back to him. On the way, she ran into a pack of timberwolves. Dad heard her screams and saved her. He brought her back to the castle, and then they confessed their love for each other. But they weren't ready for marriage yet, and didn't tie the knot 2 years later. Then they had me. Mothwell had listened to the entire story intently, watching her face exact glow as she told it. She stammered. That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard. Screwball's cheeks turned pinker. You know, my dad may seem scary at first, but he's real salty once you get to know him. He laughed nervously. I think you'd prefer to not know me. So what's your dad like? Oh, you see, I don't exactly have a father. Screwball's mouth wavered. You never knew him? She understood that these things happen. Her best friend never had a father. All she knew about him was that he had been doctor and explorer of some sorts. It's not that, Mothwell explained. The Changeling race works like a beehive. You know that bees have a queen, right? Screwball nodded. Shirley had taught them about bees months ago. That's my mom, as you probably know. She gives birth to all the changelings, the workers, the soldiers, the nurses, the drones. That's what I meant when I said I had 5,000 brothers and sisters. Wow, Screwball uttered. I've always wondered what it was like not to be an only child. He laughed. What do we get for that? Just because I have a lot of siblings doesn't mean we're all one big happy family. Actually, most of them hate me. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a bit different from other changelings. She scooted closer to him. Because you're a prince? Well, yeah. What I mean is changelings don't usually look the way I do. They don't have hair or pupils, for example. They're more bug-like than pony-like. My mother thought that I was special. She made me heir to her throne. You're special? What a coincidence. I'm special too, she blushed. Oh, I didn't mean to brag. It's just a fact. Mother giggled. I figured. Never met a half pony, half a Draconequus, half Draconica before. She stopped to laugh. Good try. Your magic is really amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Please, you should see my dad's. He can turn an entire orchard into an ice skating rink. Still, I bet if you looked up the word special in the dictionary, there'd be a picture of your face. I'm sure you'll be there too. He groaned. The only thing that makes me special is that I look different. So? There's nothing wrong with being different. If only there weren't the reason I was Prince. Scribble jumped back as he suddenly raised his voice. Sorry, it just bugs me how every changeling envies me for being the Queen's favorite, a position I never deserved nor want. There was silence for a moment. The multiple suddenly felt something soft brush against him. He looked down to see a pink hood upon his black deformed one. He then looked up at the fiddle it belonged to. As he did, his green eyes met her deep purple ones. The spirals in it seemed to go on forever. If you don't want it, she whispered, you don't have to take it. Also, what you are doesn't label who you are. I'm the daughter of chaos, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take up a question one day. I'm also daughter of the element of kindness, but that doesn't mean I'm Miss Nice to every pony. I'm a little bit of both, but I'm also me. He sat there for a long while, not break contact from those infinite swirls. Why are you so nice to me? He asked, even now when you know what I am. She smiled at him. My parents tell me that no matter how frightening one may appear, every creature has a heart. He pulled his hoof away and turned his back to her. Not changelings. Her smile disappeared and she looked at the coast sympathetically. So it's true that you really don't have a heart? He nodded. What do you think we feed off love? With no heart to keep our blood pumping, we need the love to survive, but we're incapable of figuring love ourselves. He turned to her as she gently laid her hand on his shoulder. I don't believe that. Multiple coldly flicked her hoof away. What do you want from me? She blinked. I want to be your friend. His head shut up and he faced her again. Friend? She nodded. That's okay with you, of course. The prince could not believe it. He had never had a friend before, and the fact that this pretty fiddle was making the offer was even more astonishing. What else could he say other than, sure? She surprised him again by flinging her hooves around his neck. It took him a while to realize she was hugging him. He felt like his stomach was literally going to explode from the affection he was receiving. What was he doing? He was feeding off her feelings of friendship. What were to happen if it ever became more than that? He could drain her of her magnificent powers. He was probably doing that right now. Screwball suddenly pulled away, her cheeks coloring in a fashion that the prince could not help but find cute. You, she stuttered, wanna swim? Multiple stared at her for another long moment and then shrugged. She smiled and reached out to touch the lake, transferring it to clear water. The feeling was still getting over the rush of getting a sleek body. Even though it was impossible, she could swear that in that moment her head had been on his chest, she had heard a heartbeat. Wow. Things did not go the way I planned, but who cares? Jeez, it's getting late. I'll make this quick. Yes, think his father is exactly who you think it is. What around the chapter I had tonight from West Side Story stuck in my head. What is this sort of wrong with Juliet thing? Oh no, I've done it again.